What's going on, and welcome to the Stick Drift Podcast, a podcast for all things cars, racing games, motorsports, and more. Our very vaguely adjacent awards are now here. And the Game Awards have indeed, that being the second biggest award show of the year, the Game Awards, second only to the Stick Drift Awards, have in fact nominated for Best Car Culture, Racing Games, and Motorsports Podcast, the Stick Drift Podcast, and that's it. And surprisingly, I think we've got a pretty good chance. I'd say we have at least a few, like 100% chance of winning on account of being the only nominee, which is going. I think that's going pretty good then. But
yeah,
yes, welcome to the one of the episodes. It is the...
I don't even know what 10's run now. It could be 30, it could be 40, it could be 50.
No, it could
Who
be
knows?
any, honestly. It is the 44th episode of the Stick Drift Podcast. And this one, we've got a fair bit of news as usual. Not a crazy amount. We've got new stuff with Tesla. We've got Polestar doing some cool stuff. We've got we've got some good and some bad with Tesla, actually. We've got some really good and some shockingly bad when it comes to...
the goods...
We'll see.
I'll come back to it.
Then we've got the Game Awards as well, which we'll be talking about the nominees for the Best Racing Game Award. Well, it's Best Sports Motorsport Game, which is a
It's racing games and FIFA.
Yeah, it's racing games and FIFA, basically. It's unfortunate that FIFA... Yeah, it makes no sense. But, I mean, when is there ever a different good sports-related game? Like, when do they ever release a sports-related game that also gets Game of the Year or whatever? Like, other than FIFA. Like,
Madden, my God.
I was literally going to say Madden. Yeah. I mean, Madden was the only one I could think of.
NBA.
But... yeah, maybe. It'd have to be a slow month for racing, a slow year for racing games if NBA was getting on there. But we also have a big YouTuber, a big car YouTuber. Ooh, he did a big controversial, and now he is he's not in the mud, but it was a bit of a dumb thing, and it was a bit more cringe than anything, and we'll talk about that because of course it's not in the world of car media. But first, we can start with the little bits of car news. We've got stuff like Polestar sold out the Polestar 6 supercar, set for a longer production run. Now, Polestar, I think they're pretty cool, honestly.
Sold out. How many? How many did they make?
Okay, well, this is from Autocar. Polestar sold out in 500 car launch. So they sold 500 of these. And it looks...
more than I thought, to be fair.
Exactly. It looks video gamey. It doesn't really look like it's supercar, but it doesn't look like a supercar. It looks more like...
Supercar. Is it based off an existing platform, or is it 100% like an actual supercar?
Not too sure. To be launched, Boss Million Max, the Pebble Beach in the US, 500 strong batch sold just 1 week after its debut. I will say it looks more like Audi R8 kind of level car. What's its price? That's what I want to know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because if it's too much, then it doesn't make any sense.
To be launched in 2026, no one who placed an order is seeing this car.
Okay, that's a price. I mean, sold, though. That's not pre-sale. That's not pre-order payment. That's sold. What? That's the 800V charging architecture. Ooh. 874 brake horsepower, 663 lubs, pounds. Yep, pound feet, whatever that means. Pound feet? Why is feet there too?
That's like pounds per foot, because you have a foot-long bar, and it's how many pounds you're putting on that rotational point.
So how many feet? So then you also need to know how many feet the car is as well, then, surely?
No, because it's standardized.
Oh, okay.
In quotation marks. So if you had a 1 foot bar, you'd have to put 633 pounds on it to get the rotational force of this car.
Yeah. 3.2 second, 0 to 62. 155 mile an hour top speed.
That is an egregious top speed
As
for
it-
that power level.
Yeah, as in slow?
Oh,
That sounds
350
slow, right?
has
Yeah.
the same top speed.
Yeah, I thought so. That's, yeah.
And that makes 274 horsepower.
Just a dedicated two-seat sports EV due in the coming years from just one of the, I mean, yeah, so Lotus, MG, Porsche, and Alpine are all slated to be releasing cars similar to this. Sportier EVs. I mean, Porsche has the Taycan, they're getting the Boxster soon, which of course, that'll be interesting to see.
£166,000.
That doesn't seem bad. I mean, that's the kind of, what is that? That's close to Audi R8 level, right? I was just saying, like, it shouldn't be
Nowadays, it probably is.
Yeah. I was just saying how it shouldn't be, like, Lamborghini level, but no, I guess it is good Lamborghini level. Because I thought that's what they were going with for supercar. But no, for like, Audi R8 level, it looks a bit too simplistic. I don't know.
Top speed.
No, I don't know if this type of style can really work for supercar, but you know, it's still good looking. And I think
Yeah, it looks cool, but for what you're paying, the specs are quite bad.
It's the EV Ferrari. It's the poor man's Ferrari.
Where's Polestar from?
I have no idea.
I think they're Chinese
actually.
owned, aren't they now?
Well, they were Volvo, right?
They were Volvo. I think they were bought by Geely.
Where is Polestar from? It is
Geely.
Sweden.
Polestar is Geely.
Oh, well, actual Polestar is claiming to be Sweden. So
Same way Mini claims to be British. They're owned by BMW, made in Germany. There's nothing British about them.
Heritage. They still make the little Union Jack side mirrors. Yay.
Yeah, there's nothing British about them.
See, the Polestar would have Swedish flag side mirrors, so that's how you know. I mean, I didn't know they were Swedish. Well, they're the same country as, like, what, Koenigsegg? You know, if Sweden had Koenigsegg and these guys, Sweden's doing pretty good as far as cars go. I will say, Sweden's kind of nailing it. But the Polestar 6, I think this thing's cool. And
it's cool, but for £166,000 at the minute, bearing in mind don't come out for, 3 years?
I will also say, it's a convertible car that doesn't look disgustingly ugly. Like, I'd rather it be hardtop, but it's a convertible that isn't...
You say that. What does it look like with the roof up?
Oh, true, I guess, right? I don't know if there's any pictures of it with the roof up.
No, because I imagine it looks horrendous.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's
it
just
looks
going to look
nice.
like an afterthought no matter what.
Yeah, I feel like the back's too sloped there, you can see. Polestar 6... I mean, I'll just search Polestar 6.
The wheels are horrendous, and the proportions from the back are terrible. I don't like the way it's so thick.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not the worst. In the slightest.
That is a 3D render.
I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, I imagine the car's based on the 3D render. I imagine that's what they put the 3D render in a 3D printer, and then
it doesn't have a hard top.
What do you mean? Well,
that one's clearly a hard top, not a Targa. Or...
No, you can see there's split lines. You can see there's split lines. There and there, split lines. See? So it's like a big machine one. It's one of those machine ones. Split lines.
It's not going to look like that.
Ah, but what if it did? Oh, well, I think Polestar, they've done a pretty good job. Actually, even like that right there, that's a pretty cool looking car. That's a pretty alright.
Cool, yeah.
That's a pretty alright F-Type R8 kind of size car. As far as stature-wise and price-wise and everything like that. I'd say the Polestar 6, it gets a play in my book. It gets by. It gets by just fine. But next on the list of news, something that I just wanted to bring up because I thought it was actually pretty goddamn cool, right? McLaren released a car, a 750S, with a livery. And I thought it looked pretty cool, actually. McLaren, as a tribute to the Triple Crown, works most intricately detailed... Woking's most intricately detailed livery...
I forget it's in Woking.
...is coming to 6 cars. So they're making 6 of these, right? And it's a car that has a livery of what I can only imagine is the 3 cars that won combined, and I think that's pretty sick, right?
The 3 cars that won.
The 3 in the name representing the number of the 1974 Indy 500 winner. The 7 is the company's maiden Monaco Grand Prix win of 1984. And the 59 belongs to 1995's 24 Hours of Le Mans winning McLaren F1 GTR. And it's one McLaren with all of the liveries of the cool McLarens.
Only it's paint, it's not a livery. The flowing artwork takes more than 1,200 hours to paint.
Damn, alright. Yeah, see, that makes it even cooler. If I wanted
it being painted is cool.
Exactly, right? Like, that's gonna be sick. I would drive that with my helmet on, with the
No,
painted
you
helmet.
Wouldn't drive it, because if you scratched it, it would be an insurance write-off.
Oh, no, yeah, true. Oh, that is a very good point, actually.
Imagine trying to explain to the insurance company, if it takes 1,000 hours to paint, please don't write it off, please, when someone scratches it with a car door in Morrison's car park.
I just parked it as I didn't know someone would key it. No.
They would you'd get hung up on by insurance if someone keyed it. Like, they just would be bummed.
It was the year 7s. They were out getting, I don't know what the fuck year 7s do nowadays.
Well, they keyed it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get that booked in for a repaint for you. How much is that going to cost? Oh, never mind.
At that point, just use like felt tips or something. Just like you're better off. Okay, that's fair. But this thing is sick.
The McLaren dealership on your knees begging.
It would look great in like a showroom, I suppose.
That's about it. Yeah, that is about it.
And I would drive it if I owned it for the hell of it, for the thrill of life. You know, have some spice in your life. But
I don't know what's a harder challenge at this point. You getting a license or you trying to get one of these.
But speaking of the Polestar 6 from a moment ago being a pretty goddamn cool car, one car that we thought was cool but kind of ruined by some aspects, but also a great replacement to a Lamborghini that came out recently, the Lotus. Was this the EV?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so this is probably what they were talking about.
The Lotus... the EV, look at it.
I suppose.
Bloated.
I thought that the Nissan Z was EV, so
I don't know why you thought that one, to be honest.
It's so, it got a revamp.
It would be called the Nissan Z with like ZE.
ZE, yeah, like 2 E's. Yeah, no, I can see that. But it made sense because it got like a refresh and it looked all jagged and it looked all square instead. Same with the new Mustang.
That's just modern. You just think anything modern styled is.
Exactly, because it's the future. But the McLaren, I don't know, Emira? That's the one. Has the 4 eyes at the beginning, which makes it look like a Ben 10 alien, which kind of sucks. But I will say these images that released from, I don't actually know where, but somewhere McLaren was showing it off. I will say, make it did I say McLaren? Lotus.
You said it twice.
Did I say it twice? That's what you were calling out. Oh, I thought, no. Okay, yeah, I thought you were just saying the name of the car. The Lotus. I will say, it looks much better in like an actual space than it did in those render images.
I just don't think it can justify the price.
You reckon? How much is its price?
I know it's over 100 grand.
Is it?
Lotus.
But then again, we were talking about it, Emira. It was it's the rich man's family car, It's not like a. It's
no,
like,
it's not the Emira. It's the MEM.
Yeah.
EYA.
Emia. I have no idea. But
that's a horrible name.
It is. I will say it's like the rich man's family car, like.
Yeah, starting at £100,000.
Okay, well, you know what? It's like a rich guy's either gonna get a we can talk about the Porsche Taycan market this episode as well. Actually, now that I think about
There's a reason for that. No one wants luxury EVs. But yeah.
Well, for now, okay.
For now, forever. No, there's no place for it.
People will want luxury EVs, okay? The back of this thing looks nice. It looks pretty sick. Look,
that does not look like a £100,000 car. It's like a Polestar.
I mean, I was thinking more Porsche. It's like they do the one line now. But in more news,
yeah, just the one line now. I know it's not much of a compliment.
Tesla have done a good and done a bad. Josh, do you want the Tesla good news or the Tesla bad news first?
Start off a bit bad.
A bit bad? Alright. Well, this was a video that came out of the Tesla making its way up, the Cybertruck making its way up what looks like a thing made to test off-road ability for cars. It's like decently
Nicest
steep.
UK road.
Yeah, it's the average school zone road in the UK, but it's like it's 45 degrees in the air. I would say it's got a bunch of lumps and it's got a bunch of potholes in it. And the Tesla takes all of an entire minute to make its way up this. Now it's not far. I'd say that's maybe 7 meters at most ish.
Bear in mind it weighs 3 tons.
Yeah, that too. And it takes a whole minute struggling, getting jammed, getting stuck, there having to maneuver around. And this is a Toyota something from some time. What?
It's a RAV4, I'd imagine, by the looks of it. It's very goofy shaped.
What year? Like probably
95 to 2002, I'd say. It looks like that, Jan.
And that thing makes a near identical summit in all of 15 seconds is what it. There we go, already up, and it's now up the mound. The exact same kind of fully hilled, steep, pothole mound. Surprise, surprise. The big off-roader, the EV
It's a 3-ton
Tesla
pickup. It was never going to be good off-road.
Isn't actually good off-road. What a predicament. Because who's going to buy this now? Because, like, I could have seen... I mean, then again, it looks so ugly. For one, it's so... But people like it, right? Maybe it's an acquired taste. But, like, looking at it... that front windshield just looks so... rubbish. It looks like it was made in a school engineering project.
You can see the panel gap between the bonnet and the what is the right of the fender there.
Like, that's what I mean. It looks like it was made in some middle school-wide engineering project is what it looks like. It's the fact that it looks how it does, which again an acquired taste. Can't hold as much as the general pickup because it's got the rear, but have you seen the frunk? The frunk?
You can't tow with it in the UK because it was white, by the way.
Oh, can you not? Oh, Jesus.
Nope. It's too heavy.
Plus, it's got like no room in the frunk. Like, in fact, it doesn't even have like a bedded, a sort of indented, a concave front. It's just sort of like a hole in the wall.
Stainless steel as well, by the way.
Yeah, stainless steel. It's never getting approved for UK roads. It's been doing a bit of marketing now.
It's one of those things. If it did, you couldn't drive anywhere. You're not.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. I think it's over the weight limit for like most bridges.
Yeah.
You can't tow with it. You can't park it in multi-story car parks because the weight. Like, it's just a car you could own but never drive if you bought one here anyway.
And if you brought it just for off-roading, you're better off getting a ratty Toyota than you are getting
Ford's,
this thing.
Like, Maverick thing, what it's called, for like $3,000.
I was going to say, especially for whatever the price of this thing ends up being.
I dread to think.
But, then again, that might lead on to the good news. If you're looking up what the price of this thing is, you can tell me, but...
No confirmed price for the Cybertruck, by the way, so it's going to cost an arm and a leg.
But, now the good news. From the guys over at Autocar. From the guys over at Autocar, here's this render for the thing they're claiming. Tesla...
Panel gaps are too good. Immediately false.
For Tesla Model 2, £22,000 EV tipped for production in Germany. So they are making...
When was the last time Tesla actually got to producing a new car they announced?
Okay, but this one isn't...
Roadster, Cybertruck, Semi. Past 3 vehicles I've announced haven't even made development yet.
But this one is like a normal car, so it might actually make production. So it also might be like a hatchback or something. European factory in Berlin at electric car. Obviously, according to Automotive News Europe via Reuters.
It'll be £29,000, I guarantee it.
Well, it's €25,000. German.
Yeah, but Elon Musk has a tendency to lie about pricing.
Yeah, making headlines for suggesting the technology would one day eliminate jobs. Oh, so they're talking about the AI stuff. The future was in Germany following his Berlin trip, focused more specifically on the future of Tesla, the Model 2. Yeah, £21,000 apparently. But yeah, like you said, E1.
No.
Tesla
They
is-
can't get the Model 3 panel gaps right for like 45,000.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna, it's gonna come out the factory with wheels missing.
Tesla primed to serve as a direct rival to the likes of the Chinese-made value EVs like the MG4 EV and the BYD Dolphin? The what?
The what?
The what? This thing, apparently. This is a brand that
You
exists.
can buy it in the UK for £25,490. Yeah.
The BYD Dolphin is the second step in China's giant plans to become a major presence in the UK.
I mean, you saw an Aura Funky Cat the other day.
I did. We talked about that. When did we talk about that? But the Aura Funky Cat. What a
Funky
bad name. But that was that weird, like, I forget what I even called it. But
It's like a Ford Puma knockoff.
yeah,
but-
it's like a Puma. But
But it's
the
not.
whole- yeah. I saw one of those the other day in outside the gym. It was right next to something with like a yellow pinstripe and whatever. But
They sell really well, by the way.
what, here in the UK?
Yep,
That
yep.
was the only one I've ever seen.
That you don't notice them because they're just generic car.
I mean, it makes sense though. They're a very harmless looking car. Like I could.
They are cheap.
Yeah, I can understand because they're cheap and they're so harmless looking. Like, yeah, if you own one of these, sure, I would probably. You know what? I'm gonna buy an Aura. I'm gonna buy an Aura just to have, because that's a car someone's gonna notice. Because it's like, what the fuck is that? Until
Buy an
Yeah.
Aura Funky Cat.
I will. But what happens if Tesla does go through with this 22,000 hatchback-ish EV? Right?
Volkswagen. If
Oh, yeah,
Volkswagen
true.
or Renault can get the
Yeah, because they're doing the
Renault
ID.
5 and ID2 out
There
before
you go.
this, it's pretty much no point releasing the Model 2.
Now, the Renault 5 we've seen testing. The ID2 has concepts. Same with the Alpine A290. So no one's really... The closest to market currently is the Volkswagen.
Renault 5.
Not Volkswagen, I meant that. Yeah, the Renault 5 because it's
That
got
comes
testing.
out next year, I think.
Okay, yeah, that'll be good. And we're having this big old race in the world of EV hatchbacks. Ford...
The issue is this
Seems
is
to be
never
missing.
coming to market. Like, it's not. We're not going to see this for 5 years, and by that point, everyone else can have cheap EVs.
They might. I feel like they'll get this one out because it's not a dumb one, right? It's not the big supercar. It's not the goofy SUV. It's not the semi truck. It's just a hatchback. That's my thinking. And if they're going to be selling it for cheap, they're not going to want to spend a lot of time figuring this one out.
I don't know how they're going to make it for 21 grand, unless it's a loss leader for them.
I mean,
which would
apparently
be an
Teslas
interesting
have been
move.
getting a lot cheaper, is the word on the street. But speaking of that word on the street, let's talk about one of the biggest falls from grace that has ever happened, and that is the fall from grace of the Porsche Taycan.
You say that, like, it's any EV. Like, luxury EVs are in a depreciation race at the minute.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's... No one likes driving them.
Well, what? Because they're too heavy or
Too
something?
big, too heavy.
Yeah. I suppose that makes sense. But they've got but it's a Porsche, and it's the sporty Polestar, and it's the BMW i7. You know, it's people
Is
love
the
them.
i7 out? Or is that...
Yeah, that was the one that was going viral, viral. That everyone was making fun of when the badge
Did you see
sticks
how many
out.
they've sold in the UK?
We should, but it was the one.
Oh,
You remember
i7.
the BMW badge that sticks out and then sprays the camera that everyone was making fun of? It's,
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
that one, yeah.
They have sold...
Yeah.
I'm doing some quick maths, because all the different submodels. 120, 30, 80... 200 over 2 years.
Oh, I thought you were counting like thousands or something. No, oh.
No,
Um,
no,
well,
no one's buying them.
You know,
Because
it's
they
not.
make no sense.
You know, it's a Bentley Rolls. It's a Bentley Rolls.
You would buy a Bentley.
Yeah, no, that's.
You would
yeah.
buy a Continental GT.
I mean,
over
apparently
an
the
i7 any day of the week.
apparently the Bentley is just like a parts bin i7 series or something, Or like the
Yeah, they
7 Series in
basically
general.
are, but the brand name.
Yeah, the
has
brand,
more weight to
right?
it.
But so you got stuff like the i7, you got this new Polestar coming out soon, and you got the Porsche Taycan. Now I mentioned Tesla getting cheaper because what's happened with the Porsche Taycan is it released as like what 180,000, something like that.
It's 100. This is like 2 years ago. I
Yeah.
remember the prices from, but it's like 80, 90,000 for the base, 100 like 60, 70,000 for the top spec Turbo S wagon.
Yeah. And what happened recently? Josh sent me a TikTok about
I mean,
it.
it's not even recently, but yeah.
It has now gone down to, I think, top trim, I think it was 76-ish thousand.
Yep,
Great
yep. And
British
no one wants them.
quid. The thing is,
And that's for 2021. Like, it's not even like a first gen.
Well, a lot of people got grants for this thing as well, right? That EV grant that was going around.
What was that statistic? 78% of takens are brought as business expenses or
That
tax
too,
expendable,
yeah,
something like that.
right? Like there was business expenses, and then again, as a business, I mean, I did accounting. Depreciation works in a certain way, and you have to sell something off in a certain way to balance losses and stuff as well. Like it makes sense that those would have had to have been sold eventually. Plus, Teslas are getting cheaper and cheaper. Plus, apparently what happened was when people were buying them, they weren't able to fulfill orders, because I imagine it was around pandemic, they weren't able to fulfill orders, so those who had them, obviously they were more in demand. So, the price went up, and then apparently out of nowhere, Porsche just went, no, the ship came over, the ship that was carrying 20,000 of them, here's all of your other Porsche Taycans. And obviously that flooded the market.
You say that Teslas are in the mud money-wise at the minute as well, used.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, like I said, so their MSRP is going down as well, or something like that. But
yeah, losing, I think this guy, with Tesla Model 3
Yep.
Performance here for £15,000 with 30,000 miles on it.
yeah, oh, yeah.
That is, what, 30-something thousand pound loss in 3 years?
That's rough. Yeah, the Porsche Taycan's not looking good.
EV market, we saw an article about EVs just plummeting in price on the used market. I think it's finally
we talked about
affecting
that.
higher end now.
Yeah. I guess
No one wants to buy them used.
we're gonna just have to see, right? Because, I mean, even the to drive them, it's probably just a thing people will get used to eventually, right? You'll have the generation that's like, no, this sucks and we're not doing it. And then you'll have the generations that only know it, and then they'll have more generations with only knowing it, and then everyone will forget about it.
I do wonder where it stops.
You're right.
Because, well, there was that Turbo S that was like 94,000 or something. That's basically a 50% loss in 2 years.
Yeah.
It can't lose another 50%, can it, in 2 years?
It'd have an actual half-life if it did. It'd have
like, it's gonna, like...
it'd
I
have
do
an
wonder if they're gonna
atomic
have
half-life.
a half-life.
Yeah.
Like, what, in say, 5-6 years, we're going to see 100,000 mile Porsche Taycans pop up for 10 grand or something.
Yeah. It's
because it's happened before with the high-end Audis.
Yep. I guess we're gonna have to see. I mean, i8s. How much did the full EV i8s go for? Surely they
never sold.
Did they not?
The i8 was always a hybrid.
Everyone always bloody when it came in the crew. Everyone was like, "It's an EV." The i8's an EV.
Because the crew audience is about 5 IQ. Do you want to see what an i8 costs nowadays?
Yeah. What is an i8? I mean, what else is the e-tron? Are they selling e-trons? Have they even sold the e-tron yet?
i8. The e-tron's out, yeah.
Yeah, after the i8, check the e-tron. I want to know how
you
much
can buy a BMW i8 for sort of 25 to 30,000 pounds. They were well over 100 grand MSRP.
Yeah. What about the e-tron?
Now?
Because
e-tron?
Yeah, is that thing out? I mean, can't wait.
Yeah. I've seen some B&M e-tron.
An e-tron.
Do you want e-tron or e-tron GT?
E-tron, either of them, I guess. I don't know.
We'll go GT.
Yeah.
We're balling. What is Audi e-tron GT MSRP? Base spec is £90,000.
When? What? I mean, that doesn't seem terrible.
A 2-year-old one at 49.
Oh, that seems a bit
so
worse.
If that's got options, that's 50% off MSRP
in
2 years.
EV market's not looking very good. It's not looking very good at all.
Well, I mean, I think the issue is the people who want an e-tron, Model 3 Performance, a Porsche Taycan, buy them new.
Hmm.
And there's just no one wants one used, if you get it. Like, the car is it's not really a car you buy used.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a tax. Like, the Porsche Taycan is its sole existence is tax expenses.
Yeah. I mean,
Can you tax expense a used Porsche Taycan?
I don't believe you can. No. I don't think so. I mean, maybe there's probably technicalities on it. I'm sure an accountant could manage to
A lot
do
easier
it somehow.
to get a new one.
yeah, exactly right. Like, plus it's a bigger tax write-off if you get a new one anyway. So there you go. It's just.
I
it's
mean,
simpler.
supply and demand as well. They sold tons of the Taycan.
Yeah.
There's over 9,000 of them sold in 2 years.
Yeah. It's gonna
And
be.
People have moved on.
Yeah. It's rough, but it sucks to see this thing falling from grace like that. And maybe I'll get to own one now then. Maybe I will.
You think they're going to be 50,000, like with sort of 70,000 miles on? I truly think they're going to be like 40,000 pound cars.
Battery degrading's getting to me as well, because it's like, why bother owning one then, right? If like in a decade you're gonna need a new one anyway, like by default, rather than looking after a car.
I think they do the usual, leave 20% of the battery non-usable.
Yeah.
So then as the battery degrades, it unlocks that part of the battery, so you have the same performance for 120,000 miles, I think they say.
Okay, and then what? Do they replace it? I imagine that's not cheap.
They don't replace it for free. No,
Yeah, I was
you have
gonna
to pay
say,
like 15,
yeah.
20 grand.
Oh, Jesus
That's the
Christ.
thing. There's
Yeah.
going to be, in 25 years, tons of these things with dead batteries. Because if they do go down to be worth sort of like R8 money, like first gen R8 money, where they're like sort of 30-ish grand, they're not worth replacing the batteries in.
Yeah.
So they're going to either end up scrapped or dirt cheap.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what the car market looks like on Stick Drift episode 500. We will.
I'll update all of you specifically on the 13th of November 2030.
And remind us. Make sure to set an alarm and remind us to update you. But speaking of stuff that went a bit downhill for a second, we can move on to the big controversy that happened around a certain creator. You guys might know Daily Driven Exotics, a content creator who does a bunch of stuff about, I think they have a shop where they do a bunch of stuff to do with big expensive cars, right?
Exotics.
Yeah, I mean, probably ones that are daily driven, I imagine. They've got big numbers. They've got 3.8 million subscribers, 500,000 views. They're very, very good at what they do. Revealing my all-new Lamborghini, and it's a very cool-looking one. It's an STO of some kind. They've got liveries on cars, Bugattis, all of that kind of stuff. Very sick stuff. But the other day, they were doing a video on a Ferrari F12. And they did a whole thing where it was the car, but the person they leased it from, they stripped the car apart, and the guy wanted it back, and then he came, and then they got in big legal trouble, and they served him, and he was like, oh no, this is terrible, and talked about it, of course. Yeah, that was all a lie. He hired an actor to play out the scene, which he described, everything was fine, and he got the lease off, he owned the car or something, or they weren't going to come back for it, and he talked to his lawyer or whatever, and was like, hey, what would have happened if they did want it back? And he was like, oh yeah, this would happen. And he was like, oh, I'll make that a skit for the channel. And apparently everyone hated it, to the point where they
He's deleted it, hasn't he?
Yeah, he deleted it. He deleted it first thing. Apparently he deleted it very quick, and instantly issued an apology. I think it probably, from what it sounds like, it might have delved into cringe a bit too much as well, probably.
Yeah.
Cringe is an inescapable plague, and it seems
I
Daily
saw
Driven
parts of
Exotic.
it on Twitter. And
Oh,
it
did
was,
you? Yeah.
Not Twitter, TikTok, and it was an interesting video.
I didn't get any of it. What was the gist of it? What was the bits that you saw?
He's on the phone to somebody, the Ferrari dealership or someone, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you need this car back. You can't do this to the car.
Yeah.
And he's having a good old waffle down the other end.
Mm.
That's about it, really.
Is that all
clicked
you
off.
saw?
It was a bit cringe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And he mentioned that the only reason he really did it was because, you know, he had to make more monies. He had to make more videos on the Ferrari to get more money to repay the money paid for the Ferrari. So, it's weird to bring up because it's like, yeah, it's a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. I get it. Money, right? Like, naturally, you know? But it's just, you know, he clearly delved into a bit of cringe. And hey, I've delved into
It was
cringe
taking
for
it
money.
too far.
Yeah, no, it was just very, 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 very goofy, I imagine. Just something he didn't have to do, but he still jumped headfirst into, I suppose. But he issued an apology, and the video starts with an apology, and then it's just like 20 minutes of the rest of the video, which is just a regular Daily Driven Exotics video, I imagine.
Yeah, I actually recorded an apology, so I'll just stick it at the start of the whole video.
Yeah. He did straight away say, though, look, I get it, yeah, alright, you didn't like it, and we won't do anything like that again, which sounds about right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll jot through some of the more liked comments. I know people say it's every single video, but Mike and Tim are the best addition. Okay, no, that's nothing to do with the apology. Yeah. Awesome for you, Dan. Awesome for you, Dave, for apologizing to all us fans. Shit happens, but love everything you guys do for the channel. Keep grinding. Let's go. Let's go on newest first. That's where you get the real opinions. Did y'all remove the video? I see that. Video... What video is he... A lot of people are just like, what are you talking about? Because the video's down, obviously.
Yeah.
I really like it. I miss the cops getting angry and so on. Miss the classic stuff, and still, that you're saying you give me some reason to watch you guys. Which, I suppose... and someone said gimps, so that's yeah, alright. YouTube comments never change.
That is a banger comment.
YouTube comments never ever change, I suppose. I guess they never will. But that was a short story, you know. Daily Driven Exotic cancelled, strong word. I don't really think it was cancelled. It was told to us as cancelled, but no, it was really just he just did a bit of a dumb. He put out a video that was...
Yeah, it was
scored
a
bit
silly
too,
choice.
Yeah, it scored a bit too high on the cringe-o-meter, it seems to have happened. But from that to the Game Awards, because the Game Awards have finally released their nominees for Best Sports Racing Game, which already, such a goofy thing, the Best Sports Racing Game, because... It just...
I suppose there's years where there's not enough sports games, there's not enough racing games, so they've slumped them into one, and we've had a load of racing games this year.
Yeah. So they kind of stuck, because it's just, yeah, which do you do, pardon me? Because it's either sports racing or it's 3 entries in racing and 2 entries in sports in total.
Yeah. I mean, usually get a PGA Tour, an NBA 2K, a FIFA.
I suppose it would be too many that people don't care about. I mean, racing games-wise, you get, like, one good one a year as well, really. I mean, one relevant one a year. What won last year? Because I don't think...
Well, actually, it was Forza Horizon 5, wouldn't it have been?
No, Horizon 5 was, like, 2 years ago, I swear. Had to have been. Game Awards 2022 Sports Racing. Maybe... Gran Turismo 7, that's the one.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. 2021 was probably Forza Horizon 5. Yes, it was. 2022 was... Oh, I don't know. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Yeah, no, maybe... yeah, maybe
you got
these
re-released.
should be...
But yeah, when there's nothing going on in that year, you get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered with it.
Yeah. But the Game Awards have come out with their nominees for Best Sports Racing. We have EA Sport. It's not FIFA. It's EA Sports.
It's not FIFA anymore.
FC24. Which is... It's quite funny that it's not FIFA anymore, right? Because it's just because they didn't want to pay the extra money, right?
Yep.
It was because they didn't want to bother paying more money for the license because they were charging
like a
more.
Toblerone situation where they
Yeah.
can't use the mountain image on their boxes anymore because they couldn't be bothered to pay for the license.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. But FC24 should it even be on here? Probably not.
It won't win. It's not a chance.
it's fodder. It's a genre, well, sports racing, where not enough is released, so it's fodder. Really, it's
when
just.
did?
Mm.
Unben was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's why I was surprised Gran Turismo won.
WRC, Forza Motorsport's fairly new. I'm surprised WRC is on there.
True. Then we
Over F1.
Then we've got F123, which I said on Twitter, and I quote for those two, it's 2 yearly slop games. They are just yearly slop.
What do you mean?
Wait.
It's got Lewis Hamilton on the cover.
It does. It's got Hamilton, Norris, and I don't know the middle one, but it's
Go and guess.
It's not. Well, okay. Who races for Ferrari? It's not. It's not Sainz, right?
You're getting closer. You're warmer.
Who does race for Ferrari?
It's the other one.
This one is. It's okay. What names do I know? It's not Alonso. He's Aston Martin. It's not the one American guy because he's Williams or something.
Logan Sargent.
It's not. I wanted to say something.
He has the most American name of all time.
I was gonna say something military related, but in my brain I was like, I'm just gonna say that because American. That makes no sense. Sargent. That's why. It's not Sainz. It's. Pastry. It's pastry. Is it?
No, that's McLaren's.
Oh, that's McLaren. I give up.
Charles Leclerc.
You know what? I think I might have almost said that before pastry. I think I was gonna say Leclerc.
I mean,
before I said...
Eclair is another type of pastry.
Exactly. So I was right. But yeah.
I hate the new F1 covers though. Like, why is it just 3 people standing there? Like, so bad.
I don't know. Please everyone, I guess. I mean, it would be cool if they made like. Have you seen some of the like graphic designers on Twitter and whatnot?
Yeah.
It'd be insane if they made like those. I bookmarked one of them because I was like, this is sick.
The races are so boring. They do that instead.
Exactly. But like, if they did stuff like this, this is artwork by TL Design. Massive shout out to him. Massive credit to him. They did stuff like this for the covers.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But
actually, so cool looking. He's got this one of Norris as well. Like that's a cool. And he's got the British
Sargent
flag.
in that one would have gone hard
with the American flag.
Yeah.
Can keep the red, white, and blue as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then F123 again. Those are just yearly slop. It's just you come back every year. You put your plate, and it's just on your plate of just slop to enjoy for the year.
They added new liveries.
And it's like they're even, because EA, they've got a battle pass now. They're leaning more in on. Well, they've got emotes too. They're leaning.
You can buy sofas.
Can you? What do you have, like a house?
You can customize your like pre-game lobby. You can have F1 Life where you can change your outfit, your like sunglasses and your settee and your lampshades and all that.
Then you've also got real life cars, a bit of stuff with real life cars, because licenses
that handle horribly.
Yeah, exactly. Please play the game. Look, we've got a supercar, please. In F123, utterly rubbish. Utterly rubbish.
Got rid of classic F1 cars for that, by the way.
Yeah, how sucky. I'd much rather...
In F1 game, you can't race in any of the classic F1 cars. No, you get to race in an F8 Tribino because...
That's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Can't do that in the other game.
Then, what I'll come back around to, after that, we've got Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Game notable for being completely unnotable. Because it's a game I didn't even know released yet. But everyone was like, oh yeah, by the way, this game's out. What are you talking about? I only heard about it
Discord
once.
like, oh, voting for Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Yeah, but surprising, honestly. I don't. I think someone did comment or reply with being like, gonna vote for Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's the least broken one, or like the one with the least issues. Which, no, it probably is. It's just no one's talked or done anything for it. Honestly, I might buy that game to
Milestone
try
have
it.
like £5 budget for marketing, so you can't blame them.
True, true. Okay, look.
What, have you seen any promo for the other, like, for Ride 5 or the Supercross game they make?
True,
No, they
true.
just don't promote them.
I'll say this right here, right now. If Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 makes Game of the Year, I will buy it and play it for a video. I'm saying that right now. If Hot Wheels Unleashed 2...
I'm sure you could just ask Milestone for a code, to be honest.
What a milestone even... What a milestone... Are they a big company?
MotoGP, Ride 5... like they own like World Superbike and all the bike licenses, basically.
Sure, I'll reach out to Milestone for a copy, or just buy the game myself if it for a video if it gets Game of the Year, because it looks probably fun, but like Lego 2K Drive kind of fun. Like you play it, you're like, oh, this is
Do you
neat.
have fun with Lego 2K Drive?
When I'm on it, well, like when I'm bothered to go on it.
For £100?
No, not like that's the issue, right? It's not £100 fun. It's like it's really good. £15 fun is what it is. Like I was gonna say 20, but I was like, that's a bit too far.
Much.
15 quid. I'd say yeah, that's great, right? Like what? Instead of getting a nice Dominoes, I can get Lego 2K Drive and play that for a week or two. You know,
even that's a difficult choice, really, when you think about it.
But yeah, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 looks fun. At the very
game
least.
time out of a Domino's. There's more stuff to do.
But then again, I don't think I've actually ever seen any gameplay of Unleashed 2. But
No, I've seen like one screenshot.
Yeah.
Like, has anybody bought this game?
that's the thing. I just don't think anyone's done anything with this game because I've not seen anything about it anywhere. It's crazy how little I've seen of this game. Then we've got the game it's gonna win, and it's sad that it will.
I wouldn't. You underestimate Xbox fans.
No, I that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's gonna win, and it's gonna end up winning, and
Yep.
that's.
Yep.
Is it just done on votes? Is it only?
Yep.
Is
Yep.
it actually only done
Yep.
on votes?
Yeah, that's a point of the vote system.
Okay, yeah. Well, I thought it was like a good suggestion. I don't know.
Well, Jeff's gonna sit down and play a bit of all of them and just be like, yeah, I like that one.
Who is he, by the way? I thought he was just the host. Does he own the Game Awards? Does he run it?
What's he do?
I don't actually know. I'd seen people talk. Like, Black Panther had some issues with it, and he added him. And I was like, that's just the host. What is he going to do?
I mean, people meme him all the time.
Yeah. But, I will say, it's unfortunate that Motorsport is going to end up probably winning. Like, it will. Despite all of its flaws, all of its very obvious flaws, all of its shortcomings in its own industry. Look, Motorfest isn't crazy compared to Forza. But Motorsport is even worse compared to Gran Turismo 7. Like,
I don't know. Like,
Would you-
graphically, yeah, but apparently the
Oh?
gameplay's better.
Okay, you know what? I'll give it to you there. I haven't actually played the game, so I can't say. There's definitely a lot
This
of
is based
things
on my Twitter for you page,
Yeah.
so take it with a grain of salt the size of London.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what ends up happening with that. But I do think Forza Motorsport will end up probably winning, which is unfortunate. Go ahead and vote for which one you think should win. Forza Motorsport probably good, probably great, but did have many sucky
I think
things. In it.
Milestone are gonna wake up surprised they've been nominated. To be
Yeah.
honest,
I think they're gonna be surprised. Wait, we released that game? Wow! Oh! It was Unleashed 2. Right.
Codemaster's probably gonna be salty. Their new game isn't up there instead of
Yeah. That's rough. But then the final nominee, the one that to me feels like even if you disregard bias, Motorfest seems like the clear winner amongst this selection. Like, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 might be fun, but again, no one's really talked about it at all, and it instantly had no players. Like, people who had the game were not playing it. I think they might have
I
even
don't think
been
anyone
playing.
bought the game.
I think the original's getting played more than this. Then
We'll
we've
find
got.
out on Steam.
We're about to. F1 slop. EA FC slop.
Very nice.
Those two should not be here. Look, F1 might be good at being itself, right? It might be a great.
No, it's not.
Is it not
I
even
went
that?
on F1 the other day. The
Okay, good.
22. The physics are horrendous.
Right. So if it's not even good at being an F1 game, and it's just a yearly slop game, look. my videos would never be nominated for like a YouTube video award. Thus,
I don't know.
thus
Christmas in the Crew 2 is a banger.
true, because my videos are daily slop. These two things are two yearly slop games.
Daily would
Daily.
be impressive. How
That
much
would
do they
be.
work out, bro?
But that's
Hot
what I
Wheels
mean.
Unleashed 2 has less people than Hot Wheels Unleashed 1.
I thought so. Yeah, I thought so.
But, like, when you've got 52 on Unleashed 1 and 45 on Unleashed 2, does it really matter?
Yeah. That's... Imagine having a game where 52 people are playing right now and it gets nominated for Game of the Year.
45 people
Oh,
playing.
45. Sorry, 52 was the other one. That
was the old one, yeah.
The one from a couple of years ago. But Forza Motorsport, it's going to be close between the actual car games here, because F1 doesn't count. It's going to be close between Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, which I just don't think has the audience to back a vote push, right? So I think it's between Forza and Crew, and I think out of those two, it's going to be very, very, very close. Because Motorfest, for all of its shortcomings, it's a pretty solid game. It's, once you finish the 15 playlists, there's nothing to do. But the 15 playlists are pretty good to do. The concept is there. The map, insanely well detailed. The event system works. Some of the physics, very
It
sucky.
works, yeah, but it's like having you've got a working vending machine with no food in it. Like,
Well, 15 bits of food.
you can
and
press the
then-
button all you want, it's not
Yeah.
going to dispense anything.
It's got 15 bits of food and then it runs out of stock, alright? And it's 15 great bits of food. You're like, if there was more of this food in this vending machine, I'd come here all the time. Screw breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm eating at this vending machine. But the issue is there just isn't enough. Like, I want to make a new account just to play again, but it's like, again, once I'm done, it's just gonna suck again. I predicted, like, being like, oh yeah, you know, I'll be finished with Motorfest, like, 2 months in, maybe. It was a month. 1 month. One measly month.
Yep.
That I finished everything, owning every car, having done every playlist, every photo op, every skill, every challenge, every car, everything. I said every car twice, because that's how I be running things around here. But, while doing those things, it was pretty enjoyable. Like,
Yeah, it's enjoyable for like 3 weeks maybe, but like after that,
and we're just gonna have to see. But solid game. And I think out of these, I'd say it's the
it's got
clear
very
winner.
good scaffolding. Yeah,
I'd say it's an amazing foundation.
so you lift up the top of the scaffold, and there's just nothing in there. It's
I
like,
mean,
where is it? Where?
What we
Someone's
talked about,
moved the building.
Yeah. What we talked about the other day was what could probably, maybe, hopefully, breathe life into the game is more playlists. Like, more unique idea playlists. Because, again, the PvP, very fun. They need to also promote that more. Jesus
They are
Christ.
never touching the PvP ever again. I
Yeah.
guarantee it. It's gonna be like it is now for 3 years.
The PvP, great. The Summit does what it needs to. Definitely needs better rewards, though. Jesus. Then part system maybe updating. The custom show might need an overhaul. Livery system, photo mode, all of those need an overhaul. But content-wise, put full teams, like a full 5-person, whatever you need, teams on making a bunch of cared about, interesting playlists and go one playlist a month.
Or they could just remove features that are in the Crew 2.
Instead of one every 3 months. Like,
That's criminal.
and remember, when I said one every 3 months to the developers, they made sure to correct me and say, no, Sid. One every update, not one every 3 months. So,
Which means there's gonna be seasons longer than 3
there's
months.
gonna be 4-month ones in there as well. Like, imagine how much more bliss the game would be running right now if we'd already had 2 new playlists.
Yeah,
right?
no, it'd
Like-
actually be something to do in the game.
And the thing is, as much as this could be a crazy amount of work, right? Just look, only one has to be great. Keep the season structure. Make One, the big intense one, the big cool one. Do a big thing with that one. Add a cool concept with that one.
I mean, when you think
right?
about it, we got a race a week in the Crew 2 for their proper updates.
Yeah.
Not including it into the Storm and into the Blizzard.
I don't think I don't think we have. Oh no, USB Tour always. USB Tour got two, one and then one redone. Race.
It got one.
One new race every week. Yeah.
So say that's what a season's 3 months long. We could get one playlist every 1.5 to 2 months. 1.5 months, like one every 1.5.
Yeah.
At the Crew 2 update, right?
Yeah.
And they're actually
crazy.
more unique than they were.
Wild that if they went at the Crew 2's rate, they could have managed something like that. Like
Yep.
They
but
easily
no,
could.
we get less content
Yep.
over a longer span.
But right, so given the fact that the effort, right? So do one big one for the 3 months, and then the other two do more cared about ideas, but ones that don't require much effort. Do a brand playlist, right? Speaking of money, do a brand playlist. Cause think, brand playlists are a thing in the game, right?
Yeah.
American is a Mustang one. Porsche, 911 Legacy is a Porsche one.
We've got a Lamborghini playlist.
Oh yeah, and Lamborghini, right? Yeah. How much is it gonna suck if we ever get a brand playlist as the one playlist released in 3 months?
If they bring back a spec from the Crew 2 as a playlist, I'm uninstalling the game.
Like, imagine.
Like, that is the day
we get a hovercraft playlist. Like, that's the thing. I would not care about a brand playlist at all. I would be like, yay, I love playing Legacy of Renault. It's my favorite playlist. If it was one a month, because then you could just move on. All they have to do is copy lines from their website of their About Me, put it in the playlist, run it through their marketing exec, and then run the playlist. Other idea, sequel playlists. The game's put out as this car Netflix. Do sequels. Do Made in Japan 2. That way you don't have to make a brand new concept. You don't have to sit there, brainstorm a concept, even add an extra thing or whatever, do an extra whatever. Just do the playlist again. You've already got the voice actors' numbers. Ring them up. Do it again. And call it a sequel playlist. I'd hate a sequel playlist if it was the only thing added for 3 months. I wouldn't care if it was once a month.
Season releases. Day 1, you play all the events in, I don't know, Lamborghini Automobilia 2 or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Then, right, so you played all those day 1. If the next playlist update is, say, hovercraft updates, and you get like 6 events in that hovercraft playlist, you have 5 months, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
All you would have gotten is 5 or 6 hovercraft races. Like that, no. I would uninstall and never play again.
I just thought it through, right? Added content-wise this year, given the maths that I've done, meaning that I finished the game in 3 months, meaning 15 playlists, with doing everything else I've done with my life and playing so much more PvP than anything, doing so much more with my life outside of the game. 2 days of playlist. In a year, we're getting 6 days of content.
Yeah. It's literally they took the worst from the Crew 2. Everyone said when Into the Storm and Into the Blizzard came out, all events day 1 is a disaster. It just results in being bored a week after the updates come out.
So
what did they do? Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Just put it in the Crew Motorfest, and what? Everyone's bored already.
So I talked about this as a bit of a game theory recently, where the Into the Storm update was pre-testing for the Crew Motorfest. If you think about it, the update style.
I mean, in Ocean and Sky, you've got the same wind effect.
Exactly, right? Like, it's the exact same thing. All events get dropped day 1. You play through them in order. You can only do the next when you've done the last. You play through them in order.
And you get a reward car at the end.
And you get a reward car at the end. All dropped at the beginning. Nothing else done the rest of the update.
No one liked that format. No, I heard nothing positive about that format of content drop in the Crew 2.
Yep.
Yet, for some reason, they stuck with it.
Even the contractor got events through the update, but it obviously got the whatever at the beginning of it.
This is worse than Contractor. I take back anything bad I've ever said about Contractor. Give us Contractor 3 or whatever. If we got 2, yeah, like, give us Contractor 2.
But you know, if they added a contractor update that had the contractor missions around the map and a playlist, and it was only for 1 month, and then we're on the next one, that'd be pretty cool, actually. I like just a simple contractor. Again, do the lazy ideas. They don't have to be great. Do the lazy ideas. Still, again, still have everything that's in a playlist: feats, photo ops, skills, challenges. Do all of those still. Please, don't get lazy on that. But still have all of the things that come with a playlist, 1 a month. So yeah, start 1. That's the big thing. And have them all vaguely related.
It's like it's revolutionary. It's basically whatever we were getting in the Crew 2. Like
but
it's what we were getting before.
Playlist 1, do that bigger, right? That's the main one. That's the title playlist, and the other ones are vaguely related. Then either sequel playlist, brand playlist for the other 2, or like an alright idea playlist. We talked about a rally one where they just have.
I was going to say, just like, 7 rally races in a playlist. No real story to it. There's just
one
7 rally races in a
right?
playlist.
It's just, hey, you want to enter a rally stage thing? Hey, I'm rally stage, man.
They don't even need a voice actor. They could just, Kara could be like, oh, we're going on a rally adventure. Thumbs up emoji. Well, and then you go rally.
I will say a voice actor would be cool because then what they could do for the gimmick...
They don't have the budget for a voice actor for a playlist this season.
Yeah, well, a month, but they do have one for a season.
Yeah, you don't know that. I give it 5 seasons before they stop.
Kara's just voice acting them all now.
I guarantee they're going to resort to Kara, so
Yeah, but, right, if they could, please, get a voice actor, rally one, it's just vague. It's just, hey, come down to the thing. Have it as a series, a couple events, right, go 4 as rally stages, and for the gimmick, have a co-driver. Have, like, a map-off co-driver.
I'm too desperate.
I
don't want a co-driver. I just want a co-driver.
You just want events? You just want actual
just give us 5 or 6, like, races in a playlist. No narrator.
Yeah.
Please.
Do silly ones with the monster truck. Do, like, a silly one with stuff like monster truck, drag car, stuff like that. Again, they don't have to be
Drag
big
needs a
ones.
rework before they put that in a playlist.
No, you're right. No, Drag absolutely does. No, Drag would be, if it got a full rework.
Rework a playlist a season or something. I want the old playlist, please.
The spec is what you mean. Yeah, the specs that needs overhauled. Like, Drag,
it's been a long day.
Instead of just, like, they have a 2-lane drag race in the game, but no one's on the other lane. Like, it's just you, even though it's a 2-lane drag strip.
Yep.
Instead, have it, okay, you do 3 rounds, sure. Don't make it so you can skip the other 2 rounds. Unless you go into the drag race, you drag race someone, you win, then it shows you turning around, and you have to drive through, and you get, like, crowds and stuff. And you get, like, a billboard has a little animation, right? It's like, it shows the 2 cars, it's like, oh, this guy won. As you're driving all the way back at cruising speed, crowds are cheering. Then next round, you're racing a different car. And the same thing each round. Instantly, a 10 times more, okay, something's actually happening here. Event.
Like, have it as an actual bracket race instead of just you're racing your consciousness 3 times and then...
Yep. Have that as a gimmick, right? Have drag events where it's an actual...
good updates.
Have a drag playlist that's actually
of all 300 people working there. That's too much work.
Have a drag race that's actually a bracketed drag race, right? Like...
Add a motocross race, because they ain't got any of those in there at the minute.
Do something interesting, right? Where it's a bracketed drag race, but if you lose, you lose. You get a payout based on where you came, then you got to run through it again. And then,
that'd be cool, yeah. But Ivory Tower are too busy having a roof pie to do that, unfortunately.
And again, it's just like...
That's where the playlist when they have one roof pie a season.
The thing is, I would hate a drag season if it was 3 months.
Oh my, if we got a drag season and it's a 3-month one, that's another uninstall.
But I wouldn't care if it was a 1-month thing. Like, that's a cool idea. I'm jotting that down because I've got a bunch of playlist ideas. Like, yeah, like a drag one. But it's
They're not going to listen to you. They're going to see it adding content to the game.
Yeah.
In the shredder.
Like a drag season where it's an actual bracket and it has all the animations. But yeah, when you lose, you actually lose. You get knocked out the brackets, and you can only complete the season if you go through and obviously have it randomized, so it's not just the most mind-numbing thing when you lose. But
I've never wanted to see concurrence for a game more in my life.
Yeah, it just sucks. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But that just went on a complete tangent on how to fix Motorfest, and I will see if I can get see if I can talk some sense into him. But next, I mean that's the Game Awards. Motorfest still should win. That's its long-term content. You know, again, this isn't best ongoing game. This is best sports racing game. If you were to buy any of these and play them, it would be Motorfest. Like that. And in that case, I will say Motorfest wins. There's a reason it's never gonna get best ongoing game though. But
No.
From that, we can go on to the final segment of the Stick Drift podcast, starting with the gaming segment. This is where we go through everything in the world of racing games and motorsports as the final segment of the Stick Drift podcast. First,
have you noticed how they never also?
Yeah.
They never were like, oh, look how well Motorfest's doing at launch. Which makes me think it's doing quite poorly at the minute.
No, that's true. They never did
Because
like
every other racing game was like, oh, look how many people are playing our game. And before Motorfest came out, they're like, oh, look how many people played The Crew. Yeah, then The Crew too.
I mean,
and they're like, please play Motorfest.
They've not done like 10 million players playing or
It didn't reach 3. I guarantee it didn't reach 3.
Because they did that for the test phases. They did like this many hours were played, this many. I mean, they could have even used like a pointless number, like this many miles were driven.
They can track it. They can track it.
Yeah. Like they could have done like this many miles were driven. Woo! Right? Like, because that's a number that no matter how big it is, that's gonna be like, oh, that's a pretty big number, I guess. Like they could have used a fake number, like, or not a fake, but like a dumb number, like a useless number that it just looked big.
Yeah.
But they've not. No, you are right. You are very much right.
Which makes me think it's very bad.
Yeah. Well, we won't know until we see a complete overhaul of how they do stuff. But I do think there was a big fall off. Everyone was playing the game to begin with,
big
but
fall off.
But you got it. The game did good when it came out, and it's a good.
Yeah, it did great when it came out.
It's a great game for the first 2 weeks.
You can basically see by your YouTube and like Black Panther and yours. YouTube
yeah, everyone's on the decline right now.
Nobody cares about racing games at the minute.
So I mean, usually it's the back to school dip in general, but yeah, me, Black Panther,
this is the back
AR12,
to school glacial drop.
Yeah.
Like...
me, AR12, Black Panther, Goosiest, any single person in the racing game industry.
Your Motorfest content does just...
Everything's down. Everything's down right now. Yeah, it's
Motorfest down.
Yeah, everything's just kind of sucking right now, and it sucks that it's sucking. But what are you gonna do? We're just gonna have to wait. I mean,
more Infinite Money Gush videos.
Speaking of the gaming segment, the Crew 2 update in 2 days. A Crew 2 update is in 2 days. Are they not promoting
this at all either?
Nope. I haven't even gotten early access.
They are afraid of Crew 2 overtaking Motorfest for concurrence. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
I've not got early access. We're going to find out tomorrow if they even do the, hey, this is the update out tomorrow thing. You know, when they'd release the trailer.
Are you sure it comes out tomorrow?
It comes out tomorrow. I went on the game.
The day after.
Yeah, the day after tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for the audience. I went on and checked. I went on and... yeah, it says coming soon summits. It's when it was going to end before.
Ubisoft contact? Because there's no way they haven't said anything.
It's coming out tomorrow, and they've not released a teaser of any sort. Instead, again, like I said, we'll find out tomorrow if they even release a trailer and the news article and the patch notes and everything. They've not touched it. Like, I don't... Jesus Christ, if you're going to run the games at the same time, care about them. Plus, this is the first... update.
Is there no embargo left? Because
well, no. I've not got an early recording. I've not got an early recording for it. Yeah. So
what?
We don't know what it is. We don't know what it's gonna be. We don't know how long it's gonna run. We don't know if it's gonna have any actual content. We don't know if it's gonna have any actual car releases. We don't know if it's gonna have anything. Because they've not told us anything about it. They've not teased a new car. They've not teased a new concept. And we know that this is the first ever season that isn't gonna have a motor pass. This is season 10. without a motor pass. In fact, it might not even be Season 10, because a Ubisoft earnings report listed it as Season 9, Episode 3. American Legends, Episode 3.
Imagine how bad that would look to investors if a third episode on your previous game overtook the current game for concurrence. I guarantee you that's why they're not promoting it. They are so afraid of just looking terrible to investors.
Maybe they just want to focus on the crew first. I don't know. I'm trying to
focus on what? Not updating it.
I'm playing devil's advocate, you know? I'm advocating for the devil here, alright?
I want to glimpse into Ivory Tower HQ while they're updating Motorfest.
I want to go and pitch them the idea of a playlist a season. Is what I want to go do.
I imagine there's just like, it's like one of those chaos like office things. Like, boxing in the middle, someone's getting rugby tackled in the corner, and one person's trying to update the game in the corner.
It's trying to get to hit the space bar, but he keeps getting just tackled on his way there. Oh my, what a shocker. But Motorfest, on the other hand, is still in its European month with the Rubicon.
When is the Motorfest update?
I'll talk about that. The Pagani Rubicon is the monthly reward, and currently we're in a summit with the reward of the Italian Nitro. Oh, we just got the Ferrari SF90 and the Ferrari 308, which is nice. And we've got nothing else. There's next week, and then there's a summit car coming out in the week after. And I think that's roughly it. I think that's all that's happening. The Ferrari SF90 was nice. The 308 was cool.
The 308 is about as slow as a Peugeot 308. I think it's horrendous.
But it was cool. And then the next update
said the
for
most
Motorfest,
interesting new vehicle we've got had to the game, but like the franchise overall, is the new RX-7 in the Crew 2 because it's top speed meta.
Top speed meta. It's we got a brand new Summit car that came out last week. Top speed. It's the highest top speed in the spec, as well as actually being pretty cool
as well.
Yeah, it's like an outline design. Like
the next Summit car we get for Motorfest is a Jag.
It's a Jag with a different interior.
Colours on it.
Yep, it's a Jag with a different interior. But then we have Forza. Oh, and also next Motorfest update is December 6th. If you wanted to know. So we're waiting on
before the Game Awards.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, there you go. That'd be brilliant. Day before it wins the Game Awards. Woo!
If it doesn't win, they should just go home.
But the Forza Horizon 5 recently got a big bunch of stuff. We got, like, a bunch of new rims.
You mean it got an update less than 3 months after launch? What? Devs can add content to a game?
Wait, what are you talking about? Forza Motorsport is... No, oh, did I say Motorsport?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. No, sorry, I'm an idiot there. What's actually going on with Motorsport? Let me actually check. I don't know.
That's why I was surprised.
Yeah,
I think the devs have forgot that game exists.
Forza Motorsport tuning tips. Forza community. No, Forza Motorsport new car pass delivery. They got the 1991 Ford Rouge.
That's kind of cool. I can't lie.
No, it does. Cool. It's a NASCAR, right? It does actually look very sick. It'll work for the game. If they have a bunch of cars like this, then yeah, that'll actually look pretty sick. It's got actual headlights. Why does it have actual headlights? The track's always lit.
I think it's It's not like NASCAR. I think it's there's a series of it in Project Cars too. I can't remember the name. There's
road legal NASCARs. I don't know.
Basically, yeah, it's basically track NASCAR where they've got actual tracks.
Yeah. Then we've got Forza Horizon 5 new race routes. Yeah, so they added a bunch of more race routes. They added an oval track. I think they added race tracks in the open world, something like that. So a few more. Then we've also got Selena S7. We got a few things like a bunch of new rims. And currently, they are in summer, I think. The 9th? Yeah, that's recent. With the Corvette Z06 and the Belvedere and this big old American theme because they're doing a bunch of American cars.
USA.
Ooh, USA. Oh, and microtransactions. Yeah, of course. We talked about that last week.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with Forza. And Gran Turismo is... I mean, they got that big update last time.
They got that big update. We're not going to see another one for a month.
Nope.
So, yeah.
CarX exists. Ooh. Then we've also got... No idea. I don't know. And we'll never know. So, I don't actually think there's anything else. So what's going on in the world of motorsports then, I
Nothing
guess?
really. No F1 this week, and the MotoGP.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was horrendous. I wish I didn't bother waking up for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
They added a new rule where your tire pressure can't go below a certain amount.
Seems strange.
Where like the lower the tire pressure, the better feel the bike has, and the better traction you get mid corner late in the race.
Okay.
Because obviously when air get hot, air expand, tire get very hot, air and tire expand, tire pressure go up, tire get too hard, slide basically. And yeah, it's gone.
Yep. I was turning off my phone.
Yeah. Air and tire get hot, air expand, tire get too hard, tire get slippery, essentially. But having too low tire pressure, the Michelin's like you start to disintegrate and rip apart.
Yeah.
So for safety, they've had to mandate a minimum tire pressure.
Yeah,
But
I imagine
the
everyone's just going to
problem
use
is-
that. Yeah.
Well, when you're right in front, it's fine. Because you've got the clear air hitting your front tire.
Yeah.
If you're behind someone, your tire pressures just go,
Yeah.
yeah. So everyone had like a 2-second gap between each other because they didn't want to melt their front tire, basically.
Huh. Well, that seems kind of fun, I guess.
I mean, it was Bastianini's first win this season, so that was great. But then it was a 1.5-second gap to Alex Marquez, and then 2 seconds back to Bagnaia, which was It was just a boring race. The order stayed the exact same the entire time for the front four, basically. It was.
Was anything going on in the world of
Nope.
F1?
No other race series. F1, nothing happened apart from the Las Vegas Grand Prix next, and everyone was like, "Oh, temperature's going to be 4 degrees. 4 degrees. How can you?" No, it's not. It's going to be 12.
And everyone was also memeing the orb.
The track is horrendous.
Oh, is
by
it?
the way. We were memeing on it in Motorsports chat in your Discord
Is
server.
it the upside down pig?
Yeah, if you click on it if you click on Motorsports chat in your server screen, you see the upside down pig. I posted it 12th at 12:10.
Yeah.
It has a 1.25 long back straight with a DRS.
So what does that mean?
They're good. Williams is going to be going Mark 12 by the end of it. Mercedes is going to be last by the end of the straight. But notice how it's got a 1.5 long back straight that turns into a dead 90-degree left-hander.
Oh, it goes that way. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine Williams is going to have a brilliant time on this, surely. Surely they're going to have an absolute howler. Except for 09, 08, 07.
Well, look at the corners, like, they can't run no downforce.
Yeah.
Because there's a 90-degree turn.
No, that's the issue.
You bomb it down the straight, then you've got 4 miles an hour around the first corner.
Yeah.
The last corner.
I mean, maybe that's how they run it. It's a strategy, you know. You play extreme speed, and then you go, well, looks like we're losing 50 positions
to it.
in the turns.
There will be an optimum amount of downforce that's where you can have a high top speed, but not lose too much around the corners. But I don't know what that is.
Surely.
And then the pit exit is on a blind turn.
Yeah.
So that's on turn 1. That's the image slide down below.
I'm
So
sure
as you come around that corner, the pit exit just comes right out into traffic.
What if you're big brain about it though? Like you know everyone else is gonna be using the optimum, so you go extreme.
A power shoe on the back of your car.
Yeah, you go extreme in on fastness, and then you.
I saw a banger meme. It's like Mercedes Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's no front wing or rear wing. It's just nowhere on the character.
But you get in like all the way to the front, right? On that sector 1, right? All the way to the front, and then you just play hard defensive. You go Perez on anyone trying to overtake.
That's the thing. If Williams could qualify well, I do think that
yeah,
they
right?
have a
Like
good chance of getting points.
They got the big straight line car.
Because it's a straight track, so it's a really narrow circuit. You can see in that image in Motorsports with the pit lane exit how narrow it actually is.
Yeah.
It's like that's not an F1 car. It's like a normal car. Then the F1 cars are a lot wider. If say a car like Williams run no downforce and they get ahead on one of the straights,
yeah,
they can just beat AI and park it in every corner basically.
That's what I'm talking about. You be smart. You know everyone's gonna use the optimal whatevers. So
the other issue is they're gonna be sat at like max engine revs for a long time on that back straight.
Yeah.
Someone's engine is going to just nuke itself. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And then everyone's gonna pin it into the wall because. Yeah,
I mean, that'd be funny. I mean, what is this, like, 4th to last event of F1?
Second to last.
Second to last. Oh, God,
yeah.
okay.
We had Brazil last year. Brazil, Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi.
Has Verstappen already technically won? Like,
He's won the Constructors' Championship on his own, so yeah.
What does building have to do with anything?
Fortnite building in the pit lane.
Yeah,
Had to hit a quick edit in the.
Yeah, exactly. He won he made a nice
But
house.
yeah, if Perez didn't exist, Red Bull still win the Constructors' Championship
Okay.
because Max has that many points.
Oh, well, there you go.
He won the Drivers' Championship in Japan.
I mean, Perez might have won the Bumper Cars Championship if you think about it. Right.
Terrorizing a lower team's championship.
Exactly. You know what? Perez gets the Stick Drift Awards for, there's been a whole season.
Maybe that's why when Alonso was ahead for so long in Brazil. He was so afraid of getting dive bombed, it willed him that much quicker.
Yeah. But you know what? Now that there's been a whole season as well that we've went through on the Stick Drift podcast, I'll even chuck in some in the Stick Drift Awards, the most coveted award show of the year.
We'll chuck in something cool for Stick Drift Awards this year.
Yeah.
It needs to be a spectacle to behold.
We'll chuck in some F1 awards as well.
What? What awards can we have for everyone?
I'll pick the award. You pick the winner. We'll find out, I guess.
Most crashes by dive bombing.
Best driver, best entertainer, people's champion driver. Like, all of that.
Worst track.
Worst track. You can rate the tracks. There you go. See the upside down pig. But
It's like, who thought this was a good idea?
I mean, it's probably the closest they could. It's America, right? It's probably the closest they could get away with an oval track.
That Sector 3 goes down the strip, by the way, in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But yeah, that's
Yeah, that's sick.
Unfortunately, I got to shut all that down. I imagine it's the closest the Americans could get to an oval track. That's just what
It
they
basically is an oval. If you smoothed out the end of the middle of Sector 3. And yeah.
But that's most of all going on in the world of F1, motorsports, racing games, and general car news. We'll see you boys on the next episode of the Stick Drift podcast, which
might be on time.
There you go. That's about it from us in a bit. There we go.
I have to wait till 6 a.m. to watch this.
Yay!
Yeah, yay, great.
Yay!
Oh my. Stick Drift Awards needs to be cool this year.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but something about it just needs to be a banger.
You have to bust out the suits again.
Of course, of course. Alfie sent me an Arabic doc. Thank you, Alfie.
Huh.
Thinking about playlist a month would basically be Crew 2 content level. It's just sad.
Yeah. I mean, they could actually, release events not instantly as well. Like, they could actually hold events. I'd hate if they did that for 3 months, but if it's only
But
month...
it would show the lack of content if they held them for 3 months. Because it'd be so much worse than the Crew 2.
Because what you'd be